Hey guys, Z image base. Sorry it took so long, but Murphy insists on one thing. No workflow gets released unless we have tested it and made a video about it. If you really want high quality images, check this out. I'm supposed to keep this video very short, so let us go. Let us talk about the main differences to Z Image Turbo. First, it is a different model and you will need more steps. But you get way more freedom with samplers and schedulers.
And do not forget the CFG sys. In the base version, you can use a higher CFG and, most importantly, a negative prompt.
Exactly. With Turbo, you are stuck with CFG 1.0, which basically means the negative prompt is ignored anyway. That is why we usually do not even include it in our Turbo workflows.
Right. Why calculate things you do not need? Right, keep it efficient, keep it clean. That is the logo. That is the logic.
Hey you two, I can handle this alone. Sissy, you go back and focus on the music tool. And while you are at it, try to prepare a tiny teaser of a song snippet with that new tool. I want to show a little preview at the end of this video. But for now, look at the screen guys. I am recording this while the Z image-based workflow is actually working. This shot of Cyrus is being generated for his debut album right now. You remember him? The AI guy we cobbled together ourselves. The results from the new music tests are looking very promising so far. But before we get to the audio, let us dive into the technical details of the base model that is running right here. You probably noticed it by now. It takes much more time. What you just saw was the actual live duration for the first image. And, well, I think we should refine the prompt a little bit, but it is all about the principle. Even if it takes longer than Turbo, the control you gain is worth every second, especially when you are aiming for that high-end look. But hey, that is the beauty of it. We have the choice now. For those of you who know the easy Z Image Turbo workflow, this one here works one-to-one exactly the same way. Just with the added bonus of a negative prompt, we also kept the two options for you. You can use the Lora stacker, which is a bit old school but very simple, or you go for the Lora Manager. It is super comfortable, but you need to spend a moment to get used to it. But hey, we already showed you how that works in our previous video. We always use the Manager. The stacker variant is just a fallback in case there are any issues with the Manager update. But because I am nice, I will show you the way now. Let us remove the Lora Manager from the workflow. For this, I am dragging all nodes belonging to the Lora Manager down and out of the group. Now, this is important. There are two easy set nodes here. If we delete them, the easy get nodes will not find their signal anymore. Well, because there is no signal left, so we have to keep that in mind. I obviously know where to look. But if anyone has a tip on how to display these connections more easily, let me know. I think it should work under nodes in the left sidebar, but maybe someone out there has a better idea. Normally we use the node from the Lora Manager, which automatically searches for the trigger words. That is extremely practical. But we also had a second one, the dark blue text input node for manual trigger words. Since the automatic feature is gone after deleting the Manager, I am rebuilding it now. Look here. The trigger words are usually added before the positive prompt via the text concatenate node. So now I will simply place the manual Lora input right there. Now I am going to clean up the subnode. To do that, click on the small arrow in the top right corner of the subnode, and just like that, we are inside. You might need to click the Fit View button once, then the sub-workflow will be centered right in the middle of your screen. On the left you can see the inputs coming from the outside, and on the right, the outputs of the subnode. You see the two inputs for the Lora triggers and the single output for the combined Lora trigger. Normally the easy prompt concat node combines both triggers, and there should usually be a comma as a separator. Anyway, I am deleting this node now. Bam, it is gone. Now, to keep it clean, I am using remove slot to delete the orphaned inputs and outputs. And that is it. We can leave the subnode now. Just click on the text at the top. Alright, let me clean this up. I am pushing the mess I made back into place now. It is important to keep the connections clear so you don't lose track. There. Much better. Now it looks nice and tidy again, just the way we like it. Let us tidy up a bit more. I will drag a selection frame over all the nodes, including the two easy get nodes and the entire Lora Manager stuff. One click on delete, and the Lora Manager is history. Who is doubting me? Okay, let us do a test. Push run and go. Here you can see the difference to the Turbo workflow. One pass for positive conditioning and one for negative. Okay, I am speeding up the video now. You can see that it worked. So, factor 10 and there is the result. Keeping only the Lora Manager and deleting the stacker is even easier. Let me show you real quick. Reload the workflow and, well, that needs to go first. Wait, ups, moment, image to image, Florence. Oh my god. I grabbed the multi-workflow, sorry about that. Well, I guess I will show you that one in the next Comfy video. There is much more going on in that one. Okay, here we go. I just misclicked before, but I already prepared the part where we pull out the Lora stacker nodes. Alright, selection box over them and delete. If you want to clear all Loras in the Lora Manager node. You can also just delete the text at the top, super fast, and gone. And of course, here is a test run as proof. While this is running, let me show you the developers page with all the model info. You can see exactly what works best and how to use it correctly. It is always worth checking the documentation for the sweet spots. I will put the link in the video description for you. Right here you can see the comparison of the settings you need for both bass and turbo. And, pay attention guys, if your images start looking weird, you probably mixed something up. It is easy to confuse the steps or the CFG between these two, so make sure you are using the correct values for the model you have loaded. Otherwise, it will just be a mess. Okay? One last quick jump to the model page. Wait. I do not even need to put that under the video. Murph already packed all the info with direct links right into the workflow. That is much easier for you guys. You can just click the links directly in ComfyUI to get everything you need. Murph really thought of everything this time. Good job, boss. Up here is where you load the model, the one you placed in Diffusion models earlier. Well, that is also mentioned in the big text field. Then, select the clip model in the yellow node and the VAE model in the red one, and that is it. What else? Well, the negative prompt node. Just check the corresponding videos. But, it is all explained in the green text node as well. Some things in ComfyUI are not running very stable at the moment, especially the standard primitive nodes. They are actually quite practical, but they often cause trouble, so you can just delete them here and select the scheduler directly inside the subnode. The scheduler is causing problems quite often lately. Just to be safe, you should also remove the scheduler easy get node from the save node. If you run into issues, it is not a big loss. The only thing that happens is that the scheduler info will no longer be written into the metadata of your image. Okay, one last quick look at the Lora options. I want to show you a Lora model that we absolutely love. Right here you can easily toggle if you want to switch between the Lora Manager and the Lora Stacker. Now let us head over to the Manager and this damn cool Lora. It actually works great with the Turbo model too. Spanish Comic Lora style. It is just awesome. Of course I am switching to Turbo video speed for this. And there you go, a very cool image. Right, I love how the Spanish comic style adds that extra punch to the character. Definitely worth the wait, even if I cheated a bit with the speed. But okay, using the base model for this is a bit like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. As I said, the Lora works great with the Turbo model too. But, if you want to follow your exact specifications, the base model is obviously superior, even if it takes longer. Where the base model really flexes its muscles is photography. The Portrait Master is perfect for this. Here is a quick example of how it works. It is included in the easy use nodes, and with all these sliders it is basically self-explanatory. You can even toggle the photo prompts at the bottom. Okay, one last test run, and oh, I can see Sissy beaming and waving at me. She probably has a little appetizer ready for us at the end.
Okay, I cannot hold it back any longer. Look at the screen. Ziggy, play the teaser.
I have been working on this avatar, a gothic version of myself, and listen to that transition. From a haunting melody straight into a full metal scream. Seamlessly, we are testing how to merge high-end video with this incredible new audio tech. Murph is already talking to the developers, and around Easter, we will show you the full power behind this. If you want to know how we did this, you better hit that subscribe button now. You do not want to miss the future of AI music. Bye, my friends. Bye, and don't worry. I will make sure the technical workflows stay just as exciting as Sissy's vocals. See you in the next one. Keep creating.
Built a stage of iron and bone. You claim the heavy for yourselves alone. You scream of anger, you scream of hate, but you never learn to carry the We bring the beauty to break the machine.